Hello guys, my name is Bobby and welcome back to the Mile High Nomads. First of all, I want to thank you guys for all the support we've gotten so far. But we need your help to achieve our goal of flying our plane from the United States to Europe over the Atlantic Ocean. So please hit that like and subscribe button. 10% of all aviation accidents happen because of spins.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Of which 70% happen at low altitude, usually in the traffic pattern, which is 1,000 feet above the ground. So let's dive a little bit more into this. What are stalls, what are spins, and most importantly, how to recover. Before we get into stalls, we need to have a basic understanding about angle of attack. Very simple and very quickly explained, what is the angle of attack? If we drew an imaginary line between the leading edge of the wing and the trailing edge of the wing, we would call that the chord line. The chord line relative to the relative wind is what we call the angle of attack. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So if we're flying along straight and level, the wind is coming from here, we have a low angle of attack. So when the plane starts climbing and the imaginary chord line we just talked about is now pointing into the sky and the relative wind is still coming from here, that angle, so the angle of attack becomes bigger. With the planes we fly, or at least that I fly right now, which is the 172, 182, Piper's Diamonds, critical angle of attack is about 16 degrees. What happens at a critical angle of attack? When we fly straight and level again, there's a laminar airflow over the wings. The air comes over the wing, it flows over, and it goes down into the downwash. And that happens constantly. As soon as we climb up a little bit, that airflow, especially at the trailing edge of the wing, gets disrupted. It gets turbulent. So basically the wind here gets turbulent. The steeper we get, it gets turbulent more towards the leading edge of the wing until it reaches the critical angle of attack, and all the wind over the wing is turbulent. And what will happen is we lose our lift. We have no capabilities of creating lift anymore. On that turn, what happens is the plane falls down. What is a spin then? So a spin is basically when one wing, for example, the right wing, stalls more than the left wing. It will create a yawing motion. A yaw is rotation over your vertical axis. So basically, if we put a pin right through the plane, through the cabin, from top to bottom, this is your yawing motion rotating on the vertical axis. Plane goes up, we get in a stall, we start yawing. This wing has a lower angle of attack, this wing has more speed. So this wing is stalled more than this wing. And what will happen is we'll flip and we'll get into a spin. One wing is stalled more than the other. So let's talk about the 4 phases to enter a spin. So first we have our entry. We make the yawing motion after a stall and get into a spin. Then we have our incipient. It's basically the first 3 rotations, our airspeed is coming down, and then we reach fully developed. The plane is just falling out of the sky below our stalling speed, and then we have the recovery. So in a lot of general aviation airplanes, the recovery is fairly similar. We use an acronym for that called PRIA or PAIR, or any of those 4 inputs put in a different order. So the P stands for power to idle. What that does, it brings the nose down and it lowers the downforce on the tail, which in place makes us pick up airspeed. Then we have the R for rudder, which is opposite rudder. So if we're in a left spin, we press the right rudder and it will stop the rotation of the plane. Then we have elevator forward. We want to bring that nose down. We need to pick up airspeed to get that wing flowing over our wings again. Therefore, gain control back over our aircraft. And last but not least, ailerons neutral. So if we would have any input in ailerons where the plane causes a bank, we will either stay in that stall. What we're trying to do with the ailerons neutral is to create the same angle of attack. So remember what I said before about one wing stalls more than the other. We want to have both wings in the same situation. So we put the ailerons neutral to avoid a secondary stall. So power to idle, rudder opposite, elevator forward, and ailerons neutral, and you'll be out of the spin in no time. All right guys, I think that was it for the lesson today. It was my first one, so please let me know in the comments if I can improve, if I did well, if I did not well. Everything is fine. Please just let me know. All feedback is welcome. We want to chase our dream to fly over the Atlantic with a little Cessna from the US to Europe, but we need your help for that. So please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.